How many times have you tried to cancel a subscription only to find out that you have to call the company in order to cancel? Click to subscribe, call to cancel is a highly effective and universally irritating way that businesses retain customers. Some states such as California, New York, and Maine have already outlawed the practice explicitly. However, at the national level, the situation is more ambiguous. Click to subscribe, call to cancel is just one example of how some companies intentionally make it confusing and inconvenient for consumers to cancel their subscriptions. Currently, there's no explicit federal law that says companies have to make it easy for people to cancel subscriptions. However, the Federal Trade Commission Act does ban unfair and deceptive trade practices. And 2 days ago, the FTC filed a lawsuit against Amazon for allowing people to enroll in Prime subscriptions with 1 or 2 clicks, but requiring them to navigate a 4-page, 6-click, 15-option process to cancel. The specific legal accusation was that Amazon's cancellation policy was a deceptive trade practice because it intentionally misled consumers into making decisions they otherwise would not have made. In making this argument, the FTC heavily relies on academic research on how certain features of an app's design can mislead people into making decisions they later regret. Researchers have dubbed these misleading features dark patterns. But is an inconvenient or confusing user experience enough to constitute a deceptive trade practice in the eyes of the law? A small business may have a confusing cancellation process simply because it doesn't have a lot of money, and what money it does have is put towards improving the sign-up process rather than the cancellation process. A startup may require an exit survey so that they can figure out why you canceled, so that they can improve their product for the next customer. That's good for innovation. And there's also a big issue of perspective. Every attempt to sell someone is an attempt to get them to do something that they otherwise would not have done. If I'm an ethical salesperson, I'll only try to sell things to people that I believe will make them better off. If I'm an ethical founder of a company that I truly believe will help people, I may want to show someone a screen highlighting the things they'll lose by unsubscribing before I process the cancellation. That isn't deceptive under the common language definition of the term, but it could be under the FTC's definition. Whether or not the FTC wins will ultimately come down to whether or not it can prove Amazon's cancellation process met either the deceptive trade practice or the unfair trade practice standard. 8 months ago, the phone service company Vonage paid $100 million to settle a similar lawsuit with the FTC. Given that Vonage only made $1.3 billion of revenue, that's revenue, not profit, in 2022, that $100 million settlement was a big deal, which means the company must have believed that there was a serious possibility of the FTC winning the case, which doesn't bode well for Amazon.